Good. Here is actually a question that I will most definitely answer, and this is one that pertains to exactly what we were talking about today, actually. And I won't read people's names. I'll just read the question itself. Greetings, Sri Acharyaji. May Sri Rama have all praises on this day. Why does Narayana allow for the asuras and the rakshasas to exist? Secondly, what are those beings? Are they Atmans who are corrupted? Very good. That is an excellent question, actually. This is a question of what technically is called theodicy. Theodicy. And that is the greater question of why does God, quote unquote, allow evil to exist? This is a very, very important question. And in answering this, I hopefully will answer both of your questions at the same time. So in order to understand, indeed, why is it that, as people will often ask, and usually they ask it out of emotion, in great frustration, great sadness, they'll say, oh, why does God, quote unquote, allow evil to exist? Why does God allow demons to be out there and evil people and this and that and all sorts of horrible things that occur? And this is indeed a question that has been attempted to be answered by every religion on earth. Indeed, when it comes to this very question of, again, what technically is called theodicy, that is the question of why is there evil in the face of there being a beneficent God? How can that be? How can the two coexist at the same time? No one has been able to answer this question except for Sanatana Dharma. And I know this both having, again, studied this question from every angle, every historical philosopher in history, but also because personally, I remember even presenting the Vedic answer to a truly great philosophy professor who I knew. And, I won't mention his name or anything. And in the discussion of theodicy, this was after class. I also wrote a paper on this that he liked very much, but after class he and I would be together quite a bit. We would talk and talk and talk, of course, about philosophy. And I would describe to him what is the Vedic answer to theodicy. Why is evil allowed to exist? And very quickly he had to admit that, yes, what you're saying makes absolute sense. And this is the only answer I've ever heard in all of my time being a professor of philosophy that actually makes sense. And what is that? The answer lies not with God. The answer lies with the Atmans themselves. That is, Atmans having, of course, free choice. We have the ability to choose anything, any trajectory. And please be patient with me. You'll see now your questions are going to be directly answered, both of them, actually. With each individual Atmans, unlimited numbers of them. If we were to say trillions upon trillions, no, don't even bother. There are an unlimited number of Atmans. We all are individuals, individual personalities. We're not automatons, we're not robots, like New Age people or Advaitins like to think. No, we all have our eternal personalities. That being the case, part of what it means to be Atman is that we have free will. Part of what it means to have free will is that we have choice. Part of what it means to have choice is that we have an array of individual items to choose from. That being the case, hierarchically, some are beautiful, wonderful, good. Some are dark, evil, demonic, and many, many, many in between. And in accordance with all of the multiple thousands of micro decisions that any given individual Atman makes in his lifetime, that is the trajectory of that individual Atman. Now, with this understanding, some Atmans live their life so sattvically, in such a good way, that they become gods. They become devas. Now, this is something that's important to understand. The majority of individuals who have heard about gods and goddesses, who even worship gods and goddesses, don't understand what these beings are. In Sanatana Dharma, we do. We understand that these are exalted beings who are Atmans the same as we are. But they had extremely good karma. So thus they were raised to the platform of being a deva. And what does that mean? There are multiple echelons of these beings. Some of them can live for what is to us hundreds of millions of years. They're very powerful beings. But then correspondingly, any individual Atman, due to the decisions that they make, they can go in the opposite direction. Now this answers your question. It is as a result of free will, of choice, bad choice, misusing free will, that some Atmans become evil. They become asuras, they become rakshasas, they become, indeed, evil, disembodied, metaphysical, ghostly beings. And it's simply their nature, it's their psychological makeup that they are evil and they wish to do evil. It gives them pleasure to bring suffering to others. Indeed, we can just look at human beings and we see the same thing, this hierarchy that is there. We see some beings who are so saintly, who are so good, that all they want to do, all that they endeavor with every day of their life is to bring good to this world. And they don't do it for reward, they don't do it because it looks good. Cynical atheists out there, no, they do it because it's their nature. And that nature, due to, again, multiple thousands of micro decisions made not just in this lifetime, but multiple lifetimes beforehand. So we see that, but what also do we see with humans? We're just dealing with humans now. We see some people who are psychopaths, who are clinical psychopaths. This is science, one of the few accurate aspects of science. There are people who are clinical psychopaths. In other words, they're born evil. Some New Agey people, it's inconceivable to them that this can be the case. But for anyone who's intelligent and who does their research, and indeed who has met such people, we know there are some humans who are born evil. They are psychopaths. They're a tiny minority. So again, you have the full spectrum, saintly to psychopathic to all the people in between. Well, this is true also when it comes to species of life, not just within humans. So you have some Atmans who become gods, some Atmans who become devils, who become asuras, many in between who are humans, other forms of species, etc. And it is all due to their individual choice. And this is the thing that is of importance to understand. Whatever the individual being is at present is not necessarily what they're going to be forever. Indeed, this is what occurs in the cycle of samsara, of reincarnation, is that a being will be, kind of evil in the last lifetime. In this lifetime, kind of neutral. But then they'll make some very good choices, and then they'll become a good being, and back and forth like this. This is why reincarnation exists. So, I hope this answers the question. You say, are they Atmans who are corrupted? The Atman does not become corrupt, but rather they've made bad choices, and the sheaths on top of the Atman are corrupt. The Atman remains ever pure, but it becomes covered up with illusion, with various sheaths of illusion. So for the asuras, yes, that part is corrupted. That's temporary. That's not who they are. They are Atman ultimately. The devas, the gods are Atman, humans are Atman, the trees are Atman, cows are Atman, even asuras, even demonic beings are Atman. But they have chosen wrongly, and in this lifetime, they've chosen the wrong path. So I hope that explains what is the nature of good beings versus bad beings. It's surface level. Deep within, on the Atmic level, there is nothing but goodness, regardless of how they seem on the surface. Very good, but thank you for that wonderful, excellent question.